Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the live stream of Fighting CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and it's a warm welcome. This is broadcast everywhere there's internet around the world. And I've had so far 22 countries and all 50 states, including the District of Columbia, that have text a message or called in. And it's really been good because everybody's helping everybody. I want to understand that you all come in here to talk about the child protection system, and I welcome everybody to that. For here to help one another and to talk about topics that help you. I too was a victim of CPS, and it was a horrible experience for me, and I lost a child because of it. Not only lost a child, I lost a home, and it's been really hard lately even to find work because of the stigma of CPS. And it shouldn't be a stigma, but it really is, because anybody that's caught up in CPS lately has been coming across what I call rogue government entities. Now, CPS, what I call, stands for is a Child Protection System. And it's a government entity that was founded in 1962 by Congress to have social service protect our children from neglect and abuse. And they formed what we have today is the Child Protection System. There are different names in every county. That's why I use CPS. It's easy. And so these systems are around to not only protect our children from abuse and neglect, but also to do family reunification. Because studies have shown that the best parents are the biological parents. Further, in the new first of the year, there's been a change in the child welfare system. Congress has done the largest overhaul of the nation's child welfare system more than 15 years. And its reform is to support for kinship care. That means anybody with a family, like a brother or a sister or an uncle or an aunt or grandparents, are just there supporting the family. They're just as important. Aging out the youth. The problem is that there has been youth stuck in CPS and that should have been gone out to be 18 and being with their own family and so forth. So that has been discussed. And also the separation of families due to poverty. That has been really, a big eyesore, especially when families lose their home through no fault of their own, through disasters. Now, I'm here to encourage you all to text a message or, which is in a form of a way of good evening. We have a person here. Hold on one second here. Yes, Angie. Yes, Angie. Hello, Angie.
Bob, I do have a follower of yours on the other line, and he wants to speak with you.
Okay, and that sounds great. Okay, we have a guest on our show tonight. All right, go ahead, Angie, and send him to me then.
All right.
All right, thank you, Angie. Bye. Okay, Angie, who works for us, along with my show producer, Grace, they're both really great, helpful people. And Angie works with my phone calls during the day, and Grace is my show producer who makes my podcast as good. So we got a caller coming in here. So hopefully they will come in here. Oh. Yeah. What did I do? Did I lose him?
No, he's still on the other line. I'll transfer you now, okay? 1 moment.
Okay. All right. Good evening. Pretty good. Who am I speaking to?
My name's Corey O'Grady. I'm from New York.
Glad to meet you, Corey O'Brady,
Actually,
New York.
pardon?
I said, glad to meet you.
How are you? Yeah, it's good to talk to you. I just seen your video. I do a lot of video watching on YouTube over, since this took place. I don't know if you know Daryl I think he's out of, I can't remember where he's out of, but he's got a YouTube channel fighting CPS and CPS Hunter. I don't know if you ever checked him out, but he's one of the guys when we were actually on his show. My wife and I have 3 daughters. CPS came after us. We just finally got done with our case. It's been about a month it's been done, and now we're trying to find an attorney to sue them because there was a lot of things that they did that were quite severely illegal, and it was crazy, what took place. And actually, Vincent Davis was one of the first people I called.
Well, I'm glad you did, because he's one of the top attorneys in the country. He's been fighting CPS for 39 years. He's one of the few people I know that is not afraid to stand up and sue CPS for violation of your constitutional or your civil rights. And I want to.
Well, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, one moment, please. I want to welcome Elisa Uphold here from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we have a person that I think has been in here before underneath different names, but no hablo inglés. No hablo español, hablo inglés. And the person's name listed in my screen is Mai Pota. I can't pronounce it quite, but you guys speak in English in here. Anyway, go ahead and tell me, when you discussed this with Vincent Davis, what did he say?
Give it to you real quick.
Okay.
We're looking for an attorney. We've created a letter that we're going to send out to everyone that we can, explaining the story of what took place and how they violated our rights. I mean, we learned a lot. We became our own paralegals, basically. We had, 6 different attorneys throughout the case. It was 3 years long.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to the point where we were able to file our own motions. We entrapped their lawyer with lying under oath in court, and the judge did nothing about it. I mean, with an email, with her own email, and it was just, the things that were done here, it's a small town. It's not like super small, but it's small enough. And
Okay.
they got their own rules here. We went through about 17,000 in the beginning, and then we just went, broke. We depleted our funds. We were getting ready to buy a house and move to South Carolina.
Okay.
When this all started, but the case basically started on hearsay, and they were trying to charge us with neglect, which they never were able to charge us anything. Now we're just fighting to get our paperwork saying that, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
It was a shit show. That's all I can say. It was unbelievable what took place. It put my children in, real bad spots, as far as mentally, myself even. We did counseling and everything afterwards and during because of it. And
Okay.
it was just unbelievable what took place. Now we're trying to find an attorney that will represent us. We don't have a lot of money, but we do have some that we could spare for an attorney if they would fight for us because we know we have a case because we had an attorney that was going to represent us, but she backed out due to the fact that she worked for the public defender's office and didn't want to lose that job. She would have lost it.
Right.
So,
Right.
She backed out, and that was our last 3 weeks ago, and now we're just trying to, find another one before the statute of limitations runs out on us as far as what the case, what took place during the 3 years. And
what is the statute of limitations there in New York? What's the statute there in New York?
I've heard a couple different things.
Okay.
That it could be it could be 60 to 90 days. I'm not exactly the gray area to me, but do is just get it out there to anyone and everyone that would hear it. At least look. I mean, all they have to do is look at the case. It's a winner. It's a case that in a law, in a Supreme Court or whatever court they put it in, we're going to win because these people did things that were outside of their reach and outside of what they jumped counties during it. They used people in my family against us. They tried splitting me and my wife apart. What I ultimately believe is they were after my children because I have 3 very, very beautiful daughters. They're wonderful kids. And they're making a lot of money off foster children out here in this town. And we believe that's what the to get our kids. They couldn't though because we weren't, we're not in that realm of people who don't care for their children. I mean, my children want for nothing. They never have. They're not abused. They're very well maintained, taken care of. They do whatever they, enjoy doing, and they love their parents. We love our kids. We're very good parents.
Yes.
They tried painting us as something else. We had our own business. My wife and I were actually, we do interior remodeling, and we just started that business a year before this started.
Okay.
And we were taking off. I mean, we did really good our first year. I mean, it was surprising, just through word of mouth and advertisement on like Angie's List and stuff like that. We advertised on Facebook, and I was having to turn work down because we're just a small outfit, but we were capable of doing, say, like kitchen, bathroom remodels and doing well with it. We did really good. We lost all that. I had to sell one of my vehicles to pay fees and such. Thinking back, it was just really. We're through it now, but we're still not out of it because we lost. I mean, we estimated what we lost. It was upwards near 25,000.
Okay.
And that was the 17,000 that I lost right in the beginning to the lawyer and the fees that we have insurance at the time. So whenever they'd make me do a drug test or whatever, I'd have to pay the $200 right out of pocket. And I probably did, 20 of those. So I don't know, I lost track of that. But the whole thing was they, for some reason, go. And we couldn't figure that out. Even my people, and finally she's like, look, she went into the court and they've been, we've done everything that they possibly could ask you to do. I mean, parenting courses, drug and alcohol counseling, even though we were not drug and alcohol abusers. But I was in an alcoholic counseling, and I'm not an alcoholic. It's like what they put me down as because someone said that they saw me drink beer, which I did. And, I would have a couple beers during a football game or something, but nothing to where I was an everyday drinker. Now I don't drink at all. I stopped drinking just because I didn't want to hear it from them. Even just like a few beers when I want to have some with some family or whatever. I don't even drink a glass of wine with dinner anymore. So it was just to that point where it stressed you out so much that you couldn't deal with it. So what we did was wanted, and they still would abuse their power. There was a point where they removed me from the home. I lost. I couldn't see my children for that was quite a while. Due to, like I said, again, there was a fight with the mother-in-law, my mother, and they were fishing information out of her because we rented an in-law apartment from them.
Right.
And it was apparently bad enough for them to do all this. So whatever. I don't hold no grudges. I believe that she was upset that we were moving out of state, and she was trying to keep us here, and she believed she was doing, her being selfish and not letting us go because we were moving to South Carolina. We did all the research. We were looking for apartments and going down there to buy land and build a home. But that didn't happen. We're stuck here still, and we're trying to. I want to get my money back. I don't think that we deserved any of what happened to us, and I believe we have a solid case that's winnable if we could find an attorney that would represent us out here. So that's what we're looking for.
Now, you said you talked to Vincent Davis. What did he tell you?
Vincent Davis, in the beginning, gave me the greatest advice to document everything.
Right.
Greatest advice to document everything, record the visits, because they were coming to my home and everything. Like twice a month, they'd come to the house. So I recorded everything, I videotaped. The last one, I had my attorney sitting in my kitchen. And that was the last visit we had with him. Let me tell you, it was totally civil and fine and everything. But they went in court and said that it was that we blindsided them. I mean, they just completely made up some crazy story while we were all sitting here having coffee. It was really weird, but everything they did was lies. And we recorded it. They had me arrested because they removed me from the home. Well, we had one vehicle. I was using the vehicle. My wife needed to take and there was a woman that saw me here, so they went to her. She was my landlord's sinus, but I wasn't in the home. I was just dropping off the vehicle. I dropped off the vehicle and left.
Okay.
Well, she made up a story, and it got me arrested. Criminal court on top of family court for a year and 2 months.
Yeah, that's well, one thing when you're in criminal court, you probably found out that they'll hold off your CPS case until your criminal court's done.
Yeah, they were like praying and hoping for something bad to happen.
Well, I know that's what they did in my case. Yeah, that's what they did in my case.
They were just trying to get me, and they didn't, and it seemed like it pissed them off. They abused their power by this because everything we did was, asked for within our means that we were capable of doing. And even when, it was just something would get done, I would say this would be the last thing that you have to do. And then they would come up with something else. And it was just like on and on. And then he just kept it going until finally this attorney I got, she was younger and newer, and she was like, this is not acceptable. You can't do this to people. Basically saying this is a violation of his civil rights and constitutional rights. You can't do this. And that's when the judge finally stopped and dismissed the case.
Okay.
And so it was like they were going to keep going. They were going to keep going with it, even though we had done literally everything possible that we could do. And like I said, Vincent Davis told us to document everything, keep good records, keep good notes, and record and everything you can. So we did. We have a very solid file for our attorney when we do find him. So we can, they're not going to have to figure anything out, dates, anything, times. Literally the times.
Okay.
Everything is written down. My wife kept impeccable records. All the paperwork, everything is there in the file. We're writing like a mission type statement letter as far as what we're looking to do. And I heard you say that the DOJ is investigating that.
Yeah, what's happening
Now,
is that the DOG, not the DOJ, it's it's Doge, DOGE.gov. That is the federal organization that President Trump has investigated all aspects of government, and they're just investigating social services. I've not heard them directly talk about CPS yet, but CPS was started in social services because the government, Congress passed a law in 1962 that said that social services is supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse. They're also supposed to do family reunification. And there's been kind of a mixed signals over the years because President Bill Clinton signed into law the Incentive Act, where the child protection system is rewarded with financial if they put a child in foster care as opposed to family reunification, which is wrong. And now they just know that now. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to alert some history about that, but also there's a new child family law that's done some new changes. So there's a lot going on. I don't know what's going on. And if I could take a moment from your time here, I want to welcome Intended Eve. I have no idea where you're from, Intended Eve, but it'd be nice for you to share that. Also, I see a two-way conversation between, and I'm not sure if Mr. Davis is on, because one of the rooms that Mr. Davis has is the YouTube room, and he's talking with Mia Patahita, who I think has other alias names, such as Justice and also Life. And anyway, they're having a two-way conversation in the room, and I don't speak Spanish, so I'm at a disadvantage. I don't know what they're talking about, but I have conversations in the room taking place all the time. I just hope that everybody's respectful and not using this room for other alternative motives here, because we want to help one another. This is what I call a family room, meaning people from around the world. And I have one, Kita from South Africa, come here to get insurance from me. They get rest assurance that she's okay and so forth. A lot of people out there like yourself have been so humiliated by CPS. They have really made families broken. CPS is corrupt. They are not transparent. They will retaliate. They stole my daughter. They forced my daughter to emancipate from her parents. That means divorce her mom and divorce me and change her name and steal a birth certificate and get another social security card and take more money from my social security. I'm telling you, CPS is not to be trusted. They're not all bad, but the ones I've talked to in this room. I'm sure of that. We had a couple of workers that actually quit this organization because they knew they were corrupt. Actually, two of them, and we kept record of. One of the girls is in Florida now, and the other one's right here in Lockport. She went from that job to selling fireplaces because she just couldn't deal with it. And they were actually for us. They were solid. You could tell that they really wanted to help people, and they just could not do it here because they could see that this place was corrupt. And as far as your question to the funds that are procured by CPS, actually right down to the nurse that calls them if there's going on at a hospital, they all become part of a case. There's medical trafficking. There's medical trafficking. Everybody gets put on a payroll. Right. There's something called medical trafficking. And the social workers are hanging out at the hospital, at urgent care, and at the emergency room. And they will take your child. They will try to. You just have to know your rights.
we do. We're solid. Even my daughter knows her constitutional rights right now. She knows that she's not to talk to them because they swindled her in school. That's how they got me removed from the house, you know, saying I was a drunk and I was this and that, which was completely fabricated. It was a lie. They asked her if I had drank, and she said, yeah, she's seen me drink beers with her grandfather, you know, during football games and stuff like that. But it was nothing to where it ever caused me any problems, and that's why I just shut it out completely. But what happened was, they made up a day or two before our case was to be dismissed, and they keep it going. And they did this 3 times. The last time they tried doing it the day of the end of the case. The case was to be ended. Mm-hmm. They tried doing it the day of, and the judge, my attorney, said that there was 2 times they did that when it wasn't legal, because it's supposed to be introduced into court to extend a case is to be done within 30 days, not the day of. It has to be done within 30 days. It has to be entered on our case for sure that were not valid, where they put an order on us. They actually put an order on us without us even knowing it, without my very crazy stuff. Like I said, there was just all this stuff that it was corruption. It was corruption at its finest. And that's all I could say. The information as far as people getting paid and being put on a payroll from social services, when a case is opened, it is valid because it was given to me, CPS Hunter. If you watch, there's a CPS Hunter on YouTube. His name is Darren, I'm sorry. And the attorney that goes on his channel that we spoke with, because I went on his show one night, well, a couple times actually, told us this because she was a CPS attorney. She worked for CPS and knew that what they were doing was wrong. That's given out to the hospital or right to whoever starts the case, that is government affiliated. Mm-hmm. Everybody, the judge, he even give out amounts. Like say the judge, per case, he gets like $251. The judge, per day. Wow. I don't know if it's monthly, bi-weekly. I'm not sure that part of the payments, but I know that was the number that I heard. And it gradually goes down. The clerk involved with the case gets just under that, like $178 or something. But there's a payment plan for all of them once the case is open, and that's why they keep the cases open. Obviously, think about it. If you got 20 of those cases going on in your courtroom, what's your payment? Even if it's monthly, it's going to be a grand check. Right. So it's just ridiculous and sickening. And like I said, right in this town I'm in, we take our daughters to a park, for example, and we saw a little girl getting abused, and we had an investigator came right to our home and asked us, is this little girl getting abused? And we told her, that little girl is still right there getting abused. They're doing nothing about it because the system has just failed here.
Well, here's one of the problems about reporting. This is one of the areas that I've learned and discovered. When you want to report a crime or incident, you are missing children, you always call 911. A lot of people want to call the police directly or CPS directly. When you do that, that information is lost in the policeman as well as CPS. Yes. But if you call 911 And I think in England it's 999. I think it is. Anyway, I'm saying that for my international listeners, but they keep a public of the conversation, and they will contact the appropriate parties. So, for instance, if you see an oil spill or a car crash, or someone's lost or missing, you always call 911 because they'll have a written documentation. Not politically, they're not politically. How can you say control? There is bad elements in our government. It's constant.
Shit.
It's constantly we're fighting with the Democrats and the Republicans all the time. And it wasn't until we have this latest president who is now shaking the boat, but everything he's doing is that he's already told in his campaign speech that he'll do that. But calling 911 is very, very important because that way you've established a record, and they will call whether it's poison control or if it's a bomb or something like that. They know who to contact. When you call CPS directly or call the police directly, for some strange reason, a lot of them gets lost because it's political, because either the man is the mayor's son or the police chief's son or something like that. So I tell people, first step is you call 911, and then that way it's recorded and they can't doctor it. It's one part that I've been finding out, and that's something I've learned by talking to various people. So if all your listeners out there could do that. Now, Attendant Eve is speaking in Spanish. I feel really bad because I'm left out of the picture. She's from California. I admit Patita, but I think he's the gentleman that has been in my show the last couple of weeks as the name Justice or Life or Child or Beloved Love or something there. But you guys were holding a conversation, and I noticed that Vincent, my attorney that I worked for, came in the room and spoke in Spanish too. The only trouble is, all you guys, is that most the majority of the people, or this is an English speaking live stream, so we need to speak in a language that everybody understands, and you can share what you're talking about. And again, I welcome Intended Eve and Mipatis. You have not told me where you're from, Mitpatohitas. I'm not pronouncing your name right. Mitpatohita. Where are you from? You need to share with us your location. Like I got a gentleman here in New York. Now, I noticed that.
Wyoming, New York, actually. That's where we're from.
What kind of New York?
Wyoming, it's right between Rochester and Buffalo.
Okay. Do you know where Brooklyn? Do you know where Brooklyn is?
Brooklyn, yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
A lot of my family's from Red Hook.
Yeah. Well, I have a lady that's from there, KK Richardson or Akima Richardson or K. She has her show on Monday that she does. Her show is called K. Anyway, she's from Brooklyn, New York. I have another gentleman that comes in here all the time called Tony the Tiger, and he is from Otsego, New York. I don't know where that is. It's Otsego.
Otsego, yeah.
Yeah, and I have no idea where that place is, but I'm learning a lot about New York, and that's one thing in this show is you learn a lot.
It's bad here, sir.
Yeah, and
Mr. Page is bad in New York.
Yeah, well, I just saw the trial when they're charging the president so many crimes in New York. I don't know why there was, but because he does business in New York, they thought they could. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about politics, but I am also here to help you all about your case. And you are right. You can sue them, but it takes money. That's the downside. I was quoted $50,000 for a lawsuit against the social worker that coerced my daughter to divorce us parents in a retaliation move because she lied. Yeah. She committed perjury. There was a time that Vincent was fighting the case, and Vincent Davis was doing his job, and he asked if there was any domestic violence or how good the parents were, and the social worker assured there was none. And then he brought out 30 police reports and read them one by one and embarrassed the social worker. So anyway, I had a potential good lawsuit there, but I just couldn't come up with $50,000 more. I'd already spent $150,000 for my case and to get my two boys back. So I lost my home because of that too, because I did a quick sell of my home. So financially, CPS has ruined me. It's cost me millions of dollars. CPS has, and I lost my job in 2010 through no fault of my own, and I've had quite a struggle to get a job because of my involvement with CPS, and also I think it's because of my age. They think dinosaurs can't work. Well, if that's the case, why do they allow the president? Why do they allow the president of the United States to work? Yeah. Why do they allow the president of the United States to work, or have the oldest president, Biden, work? I mean, why are they allowed to work, and why can't dinosaurs work? I'm physically fit. I can walk. I can talk. I have a brilliant mind. I have a lot I can do. I can jump in the middle of something I don't know, and I can work out a solution. That's why I think my live stream has been very successful. I've had a lot of successful stories on here about people getting their children back. They've come in and testified there. So,
we didn't lose them. They were trying really hard, but we didn't. We fought tooth and nail, and we had our heads together, kept us going, and we stayed together throughout it. They really tried to separate us, and they almost did. We stayed together. We're still married 11 years now, and so work financial part of it is tough, but we're making through. Our kids are doing very well. Our home is clean, and we keep a lot of tight ship. We keep everything the way it's supposed to be, and it's just been tough. Like I said, I don't know where to find an attorney that will, without that big lump sum of money. I mean, I can come up with a couple grand off the bat for somebody, but there's no way to just give an attorney 10 grand right now. It's just completed everything that we had saved, throughout that time. Like I said, we were getting ready to buy a home. We were going to buy the home we were living in at the time, and it just all fell through because of what went on.
Yep. Hold on 1 second. Hold on one second. Could the person that is Mipatata Alita speak in English, and also where you're located, and what is your question? Also, Tenda Eve, it sounds like you speak Spanish. What is he saying? If you could help me translate in English, and Tenda Eve from California, what is our friend here, Mipata, Mipatojita saying? Because it's really a disadvantage. It's disrupting the room again. I don't know why you keep coming to my room and try to disrupt it, because it isn't helping other people. So could you speak in English, and with all due respect to the other people and to the caller, this guy is trying to get help, and you're interfering by putting a lot of this on the room here. And so anyway, going back to your case, what did Vincent Davis quote you a price?
In the beginning, yeah, it was, oh gosh, what was it? I want to say, because he would have had to come out to New York, I want to say it was $100,000.
Right. See, this is the thing is
20,000 retainer and 100,000 for the case.
Yeah. See, this is the thing is, his rate, he's $500 an hour. He's a really honest attorney, and he's a hardworking attorney, and he will get your case resolved. But the problem is it takes money, and a lot of people don't have money. I used all my money. I had sold my house for a quick sale for half the value it was worth, and I paid off my first and second, and used the money to get my two boys back. I lost my daughter through no fault of my own, and the way that social workers worked. I wanted to sue them for what she did, and I could, but there'd be another $50,000. And as you say, 100. I'm living in California and you're living in New York. So I understand why it's so expensive. I do. Because of the per diem. It costs airfare to go to New York. What is New York now these days? I don't know, $500 round trip. Our car rental, what is $150 a week? You know?
That's if you want to get on a plane.
Right, if you want to. It's 150.
What I didn't understand is why couldn't they do virtual? I mean, you could fight it. A lot of my court appearances were virtual.
For lawsuits, I don't know.
I don't know.
It is a new. It came because of COVID. We had Zoom, and COVID brought on the virtual court because I know that in order to appear for court for arraignment, they did it over the Zoom or another kind of company that had that. So virtual court's been around. Whether they do lawsuits, I don't know. I don't know now whether they would do a lawsuit. That's something I'd have to ask Vincent Davis.
I don't see why there would be a difference.
No.
There were so many people involved.
Well, the problem is with
our case.
Right, but see, with Zoom, I've seen meetings with 10, 15, 20 people. So in a courtroom, you have the judge who's the referee, you have opposing counsel, you have the plaintiff counsel, the defense, and the plaintiff. So there's 2 counsels there. That's 3. Then you have the bailiff who's going to try and keep order in the court. That's 4. The clerk is 5. And then you got to have, if the parents are invited, in my case, I can never appear in court. My wife and I were never allowed in court except when to sign something. It was terrible. Our court is very corrupted out here in Orange County. And it was very, 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 very bad. So anyway,
I see.
I'm hoping that Intended Eve can translate what Mipata is asking or telling or talking. I don't understand that. Also, I don't believe that if that's you, Vincent, I don't know. I know you may speak Spanish, but it does say the YouTube room, which is this room here. I'm really confused. This is the first time I've seen him come into my room.
To translate that for you.
Well, I don't know what it is, but anyway, this person has been disrupting my room the last 2 days, and again, he's doing it tonight. And I'm trying to do my best to do this podcast here.
That could be a mole. That could be a mole on you.
Yeah, I know.
Well, anyway,
we have Freeman here. Freeman, now let me see.
Check out CPS.
I will.
Check out CPS Hunter. And like I said, we're going to send our letter out to everybody. I don't know if you got an email. I could send it to you, and it'll give you more in-depth of the case, and maybe give you some information. I'm sure there's a lot of information you would be able to gain from it. I'm not concerned about sending it to anybody because it's a letter that is factual. Everything in it is factual, and everything in it is factual with documentation about what took place.
Right. Now, with you being on the show talking, you are entitled to a free 15-minute talk with Vincent Davis. Now, have you personally talked to him one-on-one in a Zoom conference call?
No, I spoke with Grace.
Okay. All right. If you spoke with Grace, that is fine. And so I've got a lot more people that have come in here, and geez, they're saying that Laura Vincent is great and he stands well. Yeah, I know that, but the problem is that okay. Anyway, people are firing off answers right away, and okay, and okay. Here's how it works. If you speak on my show, or you're a guest on my show, you're entitled to a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis on Zoom. Now, would you like to talk to Mr. Davis personally?
Oh, sure, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, what you would do,
I'd
what
rather
you would
do
do,
it with my wife does it.
that's fine. That's fine. What you do is you will send me a text message. Now, my number, let me put my number up because you came through the main office here. Let me put my personal number. Okay? So
Okay.
here's my personal number. That's 626-698-0990. I don't leave it up because when someone's on the phone, I don't want too many people calling. Do you see the number?
Correct.
Yeah. What you're going to
Let
do,
me write it down.
what you're going to do is you're going to text
Let me
me.
write it.
You're going to text me your full name, your email, and your phone number, and then I will turn that over to Grace once I verify that you did talk to me on the show. You have to talk on my show or be a guest to have a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. And by you texting your full name, your email, and your phone number, I will verify you, and then I'll send an email to Grace, who will then schedule a private one-on-one Zoom consultation with Mr. Davis. And you can sit there with your list of questions, make a list of questions, prioritize them because you only got 15 minutes. He's not a clock watcher. He will talk to you. So you talk to him for 15 minutes, okay? And that would be.
What's the number again, sir?
Yeah, it's 626-698-0990.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pace. I appreciate it. And what I'll do is I'll call back. I'll send you a text, and then we can call. Is it okay we call tomorrow?
Yes, you can call tomorrow. Now, I'll be on at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the morning. And since you're in New York, that's 3 hours ahead. That's 11 o'clock your time.
Okay.
11 o'clock your time in the morning.
Okay.
And you can be in tomorrow's show or tomorrow night's show. I'm on 14 times a week, twice a day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and on the weekends at 8 a.m. And then at nights, 7 nights a week, I'm on at 7 p.m. And I've been doing this for 18 months, and I've not missed a show yet.
Oh. Okay.
But I want to thank you.
I
want to thank you very, very much for being on my show.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much for hearing me, man.
You bet.
I will send you. I'll send you a text right away.
All right. Thank you very much. You take care, and God,
have a good night, Mr.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Okay, that was a nice speaker from New York. And now I've had like 3 or 4 people from New York, so that is really good there. I need to catch up with the room, and there's been lots of people here. So let me answer the questions here. I'm going to start with, we got a lot of them here. I can't do anything with the person speaking in Spanish because I don't speak Spanish, with all due respect. But let me talk to the person called Antenna Eve, who's from California. Now, she did speak a little bit of Spanish in the beginning with the gentleman that's speaking, but she says, oh my Lord. I guess you're talking about something going on there. She says the social worker scrutinizes my son to get him to say he had witnessed me being an alcoholic. I'm sorry to hear this. We stand with you. It's cutting off. I know the speaker from New York had a bad connection for a little bit. And he says, yes, our governing party. And then, oh boy, I missed the, a social worker expected that I was recording our home visit, and she ended right away. She looked startled. Well, you need to document things. They do it to you. Writing emails to your worker with the conversation dialogue is also valid. Yes, keep track of you. Be careful because they're all on Interwine Network. Let me see, Interwine Network. I lost her. Okay. CPS is contracted by our government. CPS needs to be held accountable, impersonating and behaving like they are the law. Yeah, I agree. And then Lieutenant Eve said something to Freeman. You're right. The problem is that people are not educated enough to file complaints and lawsuits with correct departments that will hold them or corrupt them. Hold on a second here. I got a call that just came in on a text message. Oh, that's the text message from. Okay, that's from a person that called tonight. I thought it was. Okay, whoever is the area code 207, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow night. I got your text message, and tomorrow night it will be 7 p.m., which will be 10 p.m. your time. And I know that your daughter-in-law has been up since there, so that is great there. 585. Okay, I got your Corey. I got your text message. I got your email, and I need your phone number in that same link in there. All right, let me go ahead and answer the call. All right. Bob Pace on live stream here with Vincent W. Davis. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Jesse from Oregon. I've called in before.
Right, you're the one, Freeman, right? I'm not ignoring you, Freeman.
Yeah.
I'm trying to play catch up. My problem is I have this gentleman who he's been with me for 2 weeks with many different names. And now tonight he's trying to be smart speaking in Spanish. The only problem is that I don't speak Spanish, and he takes time for me to answer you guys and your questions. And Tina Eve is from California. At least she's speaking in English. And
yeah, man.
Yeah.
They should use Google Translate or something.
Well, it's hard to do that with using the SteamYard. My problem is I can't copy and paste because I am talking on the internet, and it's.
I mean, they should though. I mean, if they're trying to communicate with you, I mean, you speak English.
Well, yeah, but I agree with what you're saying, and I have people from Indonesia, from Bangladesh, from India, from Saudi Arabia, from Libya. They all speak in English, and so I have a lot of people. Go ahead.
Well, then they should be courteous and speak the language that you speak. I mean, if they're
right.
trying to think you're...
Well, this guy is something. He's mad, and I think, and since all you're listening in the room, I don't mind disclosing this. But last night I had to stop him, and today I had to stop him because he writes these ridiculous messages praising Vincent Davis and myself and the show, and he does a lot of prayers, which is fine. But when I see 14 messages of his, I can't see your message, Freeman, or Alyssa, or all these other people here.
There was somebody in there that was texting back when I was saying stuff. They were saying to because I was I'm in Oregon, and it's like pretty bad right here. It's like a lot of kids are it's a pretty bad. I can't get a lawyer to talk to me or whatever. No lawyer in this area will talk to me.
Yes, understood.
So because it's like the swamp.
Yep. I agree with you on that.
Good old boy mentality. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah. Well, I do have Google Transfer. When the show's done, I will copy and paste it and do it one by one. It'll take me a while, but I'll figure it out.
Oh no. I'm not worried about.
Well, no, I'm not worried. I don't want to interrupt anymore in the show here because we only have about 5 minutes left, and I don't have the time to do all that.
Making that static noise too. That was taking taking out the
Yes,
making static and everything
yes, it was, because when you do too many messages, I don't know why he's doing it, because the problem is he has like 9 identities. He has beloved, he has child, he has life, he has justice, he has his original one was called Yeshua, and he is really disruptive, and he's not helping the room out. And so I've been trying to be courtesy and nice to him, but he has just did nothing but just anyway. I'm here to help you, Freeman.
Okay, well, let's let everybody that's watching the show, everybody take note and don't be like that. And
yes.
I'm trying to calm down on I can rapid fire on my messages too sometimes. And I apologize.
Right. And now we got the intended Eve from California speaking. I don't know if intended Eve is a friend of his, but now we have Spanish going on. Oh boy, I don't know whether to ban them. I don't want to ban them, but they're forcing me to do that. I'll ask you one last time, intended Eve, please speak in English. And if you're friends of Mipetat, please speak English. Otherwise, I have to ban you guys because you're disrupting the room again. And I have somebody named Saul Goodman another day. And see, now they're leaving. People are leaving my room because of, this disruption. So, Attenda Eve, do you hear me? It's very important that you hear me. Otherwise, I'll have to ban you because now you're making people leave the room. Oh, boy. And I apologize to you. Up in Oregon, oh boy, they are.
Yeah, Oregon's guys. I guess it's like the capital for missing, kids missing in CPS.
Hi, Josh. Welcome from Ohio. And then intended Eve is saying something to you. He says, yes, reach out to other states to see who'll be willing to give a helping hand. Oh boy.
Is that a good idea, Bob?
No, well, here's the thing is, you can reach out across the country. You can contact the news and media. But it is so hard to reach out because you got a lot of people that want to do on the bandwagon. They want to jump the bandwagon, and they make it so disruptive there.
So, but that, I didn't. Well, be quiet. I'm trying to hear the answer here.
Intended Eve, I don't have time to do translation. Right now, I have a guest speaker on the phone that would like to talk. And you guys are eating up my show and sending people out of here. Hello, Josh. You're not forgotten there. Josh, I'm running low on my time.
He wants to help you, and he loves you guys.
Yeah. And Josh, you can call in again tomorrow at 8 o'clock my time or tomorrow night. Intended Eve, after the show's over, I'll deal with that there. But I just, okay.
Was that a good idea, though, to contact other states? Like, if I, or maybe, because if I got a hold of a CPS down there in California, then I'd be able to maybe it'd be.
They're just bad. They're just bad. You can contact other states such as to get support for your fight against CPS.
California's bad, huh? Because that's where you guys are at, huh?
Exactly. And not only California's bad, New York's bad. I've talked to over 1,500 people, and of the 1,500 people I've spoken to, their CPS is bad, and that's in every state and in 22 countries. So with 22 countries,
they're not helping kids. They're not saving kids. They're not about safety and safety. They're about making money.
I agree.
They're about creating revenue, and they want provide services, and then. Even if we don't need them, they're going to separate our family and create problems for us to need their services,
right?
Or whatever. It's just, even if we were financially stable and taking care of our kids, they make sure that doesn't happen anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And within their power, they try. If you can't, when you separate the dad out of the home, and the mom's got to have a house, and the dad's got to find another place to live, and And then that just makes it where you can't really afford the lawyer to defend yourself because you're just taking up all your money trying to live. It's like divide and conquers, like their game, you know?
Yeah. Cruel, Mr. Davis would represent you in all matters. If it's revolving, he is a professional attorney. He will help you with your civil suit, and he will help you with your CPS matter. Okay? Go ahead.
They were saying, like, if I talk to the DA and explain what's going on, that the DA could provide, or I could get, they would look into it or whatever and help me. But I mean, I got arrested for a DUI. I wasn't even driving or anything, and I went in there for court, and there was nothing there, like they were just. I'm like, what? And like, I go to the DA's office. He's like, I'm not going to talk to you about it. Go talk to the sheriff. Go to the sheriff's. They don't have nothing. I'm like, yeah, because I wasn't driving. There's no evidence of me. You know what I mean? Like, I got a DUI. It wasn't like it was arrested for DUI.
Okay.
It wasn't a conviction. You know what I mean? That's how the DA is here, though. Like, you know what I mean? When they don't want to, you know what I mean? They don't want to look into what the cops did there. Whenever there's a screw up, they don't help you.
No,
they just don't talk
you're right.
To you.
You're right. You're right. Well, to all my listeners, including you, I have to end my live stream. It's now 9:00, and
okay.
I mean not 9:00. I'm sorry, 8:00 my time. It's only a 1 hour live stream that I'm supposed to be on. So I want to thank you for calling in. That's really great that you did do that. For some of you that came in late, I'll be on again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. or tomorrow night at 7 p.m. That's all Pacific Standard Time. And Cruel,
okay.
Mr. Davis.
Do you think of calling like Colorado, Jesse? Do you think calling into Colorado or another state would actually be
what are you trying to call into? Who you want to call into the other states?
Well, I mean, because I don't know, if I don't want to go poking the bee's nest here, you know what I mean?
Well, no, you're not poking the bee's nest, but calling other CPS people are not going to help you. In fact, if you want to call somebody, right. I tell people to call doge.gov. Go to the website called doge.gov, and they have 2 phone numbers. 202 is the area code. It's the White House. And you could actually talk to them. They are live. They do work. It's called doge, DODGE.gov. And you can tell them your complaint about CPS and have an investigate. Now, right now, social services is being investigated by Doge. So they are being investigated by Doge. So, things are happening, and they're going to go there. So everything's
I'm totally doing that. Not tomorrow because it's Saturday, but maybe Monday.
Right.
I guess I could do that.
Or Monday or whatever it is. But Doge is really is for real, and so you can. It's called DODGE.gov. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah. Thank you, calling from Oregon, Freeman, and it's good to see you. But I want to see you again, Freeman. God bless you.
Yeah. Thank you. I've been actually. We're getting progress up here. I just don't want to make sure I don't backtrack or whatever.
Good. Well, keep hanging in there. All right, Freeman. All right. I want to thank Freeman. I want to thank Corey that was on from New York. I want to thank Eve, and I want to thank Annie and Miti, let me see who else I left out there. I don't think I left off anybody else there. I want to thank you all for in my room. God bless you. Keep fighting for your children. Don't give up. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. This is Bob Pace signing off.